I saw the first trailer for Masters of the Universe in the theater, and my initial impression was that it seemed competent, I guess, but it just looked like your typical macho action movie with a nostalgic property attached. Jared Leto as SkeLETOr was also a choice of all time.
It's more than time.
What?
I gotta admit though, he wasn't all that bad, and the new rendition of the show's original theme song went pretty hard. Hello again, Mischief makers, and welcome back to your favorite channel. Before we get started, I wanted to remind you that our third annual Suicide Survivor Summit is coming in September. This year, our keynote speaker will be none other than James Owen. Check out Eventbrite to register. Also, we're going to be going into spoilers here, so if you haven't seen the movie yet and still want to, I recommend coming back later after you've seen it. Now, without further ado, let's get into some
Masters of the Universe!
The film opens up with a big fight between Duncan and Trapjaw, and like I said before, the music goes so hard for this. Flash forward 15 years, and Adam's on a date with a girl telling his entire life story as men are known to do. All the opening scene was apparently actually narrated by him on this date. The girl makes an excuse to leave, and your boy trudges home to his roommate, who is the perfect antithesis from Adam's character. They have a heart-to-heart together, which can basically be summed up as Adam's roommate asking him, "Why can't you be like everyone else?" That message is reinforced in the next scene when Sashir Zamata, who played Jennifer Kale and Agatha all along, is Adam's boss up there in Human Resources. Oh, and speaking of Jennifer Kale, I actually noticed that Adam was dressed in pink for the entire movie, and I kind of wondered if that's supposed to represent his lack of masculinity in the beginning. Granted, his original cartoon colors were on the verge of pink, but that might have been due to the quality of the cell colors, and in this movie, he's about as pink as Patrick Star, so it could just be coincidence, but it's interesting to think about. There were a few things in the first half of the movie that kind of bothered me, so let's talk about those real quick. You would think living on Earth for 15 years would have been enough for him to adapt, but this guy starts out as a bull in a china shop, and it kind of gets worse up until he leaves Earth. I even asked myself a couple of times during the first half hour, why is he so stupid? Because his mom describes his talents to him in the first few minutes. Where's his cleverness and goofy personality? He was consistently pretty pathetic the entire movie, including his not so comical inability to drive literally any vehicle. And how did he not break a bone jump falling off the frickin' overpass? The main redeeming thing about his screen time on Earth was Teela rescuing him from Beastman and the traditional He-Man music playing during the escape. There's also a pretty great scene where he rips the arm off of one guy and uses it to take out a group of his friends, as Adam called them. But why does every male-female relationship on screen have to have a romantic angle like it's still the 80s? I was honestly so happy when she just friend-zoned him. Notice how Jared Leto's performance is not one of the chief complaints. How many times can you say that about his acting? SkeLETOr was actually one of the best parts of the movie, but he is 100% absolutely a petulant child. The animation for SkeLETOr's muscly body with his floating head was also really well done, and I honestly think that his performance was better because we couldn't see Leto's face. Jared Leto and Alison Brie were a surprisingly great pair of SkeLETOr and Evelyn. SkeLETOr also had some really fun and witty lines, and I've gotta say, I really love what the sound editors did with SkeLETOr's voice. Jared Leto would honestly make a better voice actor than live action one if this movie is anything to go by. So, my official declaration is that Jared Leto did not ruin the movie. At least not this time. The recently knighted Sir Idris Elba's acting was amazing as always. He played Duncan, the king's man-at-arms, or Drunken as Roboto calls him. He does make a pretty good drunk guy, but he definitely makes a better warrior. And his dialogue was absolute gold. There were also a lot of scenes that were direct callbacks to the original cartoon that just made me happy. My favorite adaptation was actually the way that they designed the Sorceress of Grayskull's costume. In the cartoon, she wore eagle feathers and such, but in the movie, both forms can be identified by all of her markings. It was quite beautifully done, I thought. Dion is also probably a favorite character too, because she's a beast. Very strong Maria Hill vibes. As for the second half of the movie, I kind of expected it to be your standard hero's journey affair as defined by Joseph Campbell, but to my surprise, that's not at all what it was. When we see King Randor as a prisoner on Snake Mountain, I just kind of expected him to sacrifice himself to the lava or some typical thing, but his death was so well done and emotional. It even made Lore's boyfriend cry, no doubt turning toward her and shedding a single, slow-moving tear down his cheek, as all good manly action heroes do. My favorite part will still be when Adam tries to explain all the Earth concepts to the people of Eternia during a pep talk, while they're all stuck in a prison cell together. I know that facepalm all too well. There's also a really cute homage to the 80s at the end with Queen's famous Princes of the Universe song. You know, the scene where all the heroes do the slow walk out of their confinement with carnage behind them. I have to say, I enjoyed all the callbacks to my childhood. At the beginning of the movie, Adam refers to the Sword of Power as the vessel in which ultimate power is stored until the champion claims it. The final lesson was actually that Adam was the vessel, chosen by the sorceress, and the sword was just simply a tool. Adam's life on Earth taught him to be compassionate and to use that power for the greater good. True to the 21st century film style, they added a post-credit scene. Thanks, Marvel. In it, we saw none other than She-Ra claiming the Sword of Protection. Could this be the director's way of telling us that Hordak will be coming in the next chapter? I hope so. There's also a quick scene where Evelyn picked up SkeLETOR's skull and scoffed at him for dying. But if you listen closely, you can hear his little cackle in the background. Overall, the team here at Myths and Mischiefs actually enjoyed the Masters of the Universe film quite a bit. But what do you think? Leave it in the comments down below.